The conflict between India and Pakistan has already ended on the morning of 10th of May. But to be very frank, nobody knows exactly what had happened in those 4 days. Nobody knows, irrespective of whatever anybody can climb. But to be very frank, to be truthful, nobody knows exactly what had happened in those 4 days. Taking into consideration many interviews, many statements, the sequence of events, I have also tried myself to understand the sequence of event and how it might have happened. I'm going to put forward here my understanding of actually what had happened in those 4 days. And I'm pretty sure, I think my understanding is the most probabilistic understanding of what actually might have happened. So just give me 2 to 3 minutes. I will brief the most probable sequence of events that would have happened in those 4 days. Starting from 7th of May, 1:05 a.m. 7th May morning, India carried out Operation Sindoor. India targeted and hit 9 terror sites in Muzaffarabad, Muridke, and Bahawalpur. This operation continued for 23 to 25 minutes and ended exactly at 1:30 a.m. Now there is a question: if it started at 1:05 and ended at 1:30, how PAF downed 5 or 6 Indian Air Force jets? For the time being, let's assume that India had suffered losses on that specific day. If we follow the news or if we follow the debriefs of DGMOs on both the sides, as per India informed Pakistan soon after Operation Sindhu was commenced. And India confirmed this was a strike on the terror site. It was of non-escalatory nature, and India will not like to escalate this further unless and until Pakistan reacts. If Pakistan will react, then India will again react to Pakistan's reaction. So now there is a dilemma here, there is a confusion here. If at 1:30 India informed Pakistan about Operation Sindoor and the strikes on terror sites, it means until then India had not suffered losses. If India had suffered losses during Operation Sindhu, means during that operation that ended at 1:30 a.m., then there is no meaning of India informing Pakistan about the operation because Pakistan already knew and there was already a dogfight between the fight plans. As India informed Pakistan soon after the commencement of Operation Sindhu, it means necessarily that until 1:30 a.m. in the morning of 10th of May, India had not suffered losses. So let's assume like this. After that, as Pakistan did not comment anything on the spur of the moment, it was expected that Pakistan will obviously come back with retaliation. Pakistan would obviously like to retaliate. Then, as per my understanding, what would have happened? As the operation was just commenced at 1:30 a.m., the fighter jets on both sides of India and Pakistan must have continued air patrolling, definitely, because the operation was just finished at 1:30, and all of a sudden both the sides cannot ground their fighter jets because this was a developing operation. So it is confirmed that the fighter jets on both the sides of India and Pakistan must have continued air patrolling. On each side, means Indian jets would have been continuing the air patrolling on Indian side, and same is with Pakistan side. Now, what would have happened? Because the distance between the fighter jets on Indian and Pakistan side along the international border and LOC are not much farther. Means the distance would be in between 50 or 100 or 150 kilometer. It's very easy and very probable that the jets are locked in the radar of each other. On Indian side, it is of least importance because India did not want to escalate and India had already achieved its target of hitting the terror sites. But on the Pakistan side, as the fighter jets are already in the radar of Pakistan side, what I believe Pakistan must have activated its air defense skill. So, mind you, it's not Pakistan Air Force who has supposedly downed the fighter jets of India, but it is the air defense skill of Pakistan, which, after activated, fired SAM surface air missiles, downing the jets. So, here, if India has suffered losses. If and only if India has suffered losses, then this is only after the commencement of Operation Sindhu of targeting and hitting the terrorist sites, and after that, it is because of the air defense skill of Pakistan through surface to air missiles only. Because the distance between the fighter jets along both the sides are not high. It's a range of 50, 100, or 150 kilometer, and the radars are there, and it is the air defense activation and firing the SAM surface air missiles down in the jets. Done. Now, this was a tactical mistake for the Indian side because Indians never expected that Pakistan would escalate the issue so fast and so instantaneously. So after that, because the air distance is not much between India and Pakistan, it was not wise to keep the jets in air patrolling condition. So India decided to ground the jets, and then India decided to take on the air defense system. And now you can easily see the sequence of events on seventh day, seventh night, and eighth of day and eighth of night. What India was doing, India already grounded its fighter jets, but India was taking on the air defense systems of Pakistan through its drones and UCAPs and the loitering munitions. So, the tactical advantage which India was trying to achieve was to decimate or deactivate the air defense systems of Pakistan through drone attacks or through swarm of drones or through loitering munitions and all these things. The same thing was also reciprocated by Pakistan. Pakistan was also trying to identify and decimate Indian air defense systems. If we see the date of 8th and 9th, India by anyhow was much successful in tracing and decimating the air defense systems of Pakistan, like that of in Lahore, Sialkot. But on the other hand, Pakistan was not so successful because India had a four-layered integrated air defense system, so Pakistan could not saturate the air defense systems of India. While India could do it so well that the air defense systems of Pakistan were exposed and were deactivated or were jammed. And that's how, on the night of 9th, India again activated its air force. India flew all its jets in heavy numbers, and they penetrated the air defense system of Pakistan, and they targeted 11 to 13 air bases with pinpoint precision, like Nur Khan, Rahimia Khan, Skardu, Bholari, Sargodha, then many others, Jacobabad, Sahabaz, many Pakistan Air Force bases India targeted and hit. And mind you, these were all air to surface BrahMos missiles and other Scalp missiles fired from fighter jets. So on the night of 9th, India flew all its jets. Indian Air Force was airborne and they were targeting the Air Force bases through air to surface BrahMos and Scalp missiles fired from the jets. But on the other hand, Pakistan Air Force jets were still grounded because by that time Indian air defense system was still pretty much same as like they were on 7th of May. And it was very dangerous for the Pakistani jets to be airborne because the air defense of India would have gone for kills, long distance kills. And before that, also one thing happened: the S-400 carried out a kill at around 315 kilometers away inside Pakistani territory, and it was a early warning system, the AWACS system, and it is a confirmed news. So without that AWACS and the way the AWACS was killed mid-air at a distance of 315 kilometers, it was not wise for the Pakistani Air Force to be airborne, and that's why on the night of 9th, Indian Air Force carried out precision strikes with impunity, decimating 11 Air Force bases, while at the same time Pakistan Air Force was grounded. So, as per me, this was a sequence of events, and because of this, when Indian Air Force was on a rampage, destroying, decimating the Pakistan Air Force bases at its own will with impunity, Pakistan was helpless, and that's how they rushed to US to mediate a ceasefire. And they were in a hurry for the ceasefire because they knew that their air defense was already exposed, already paralyzed, and they cannot fly their air jets, the jets. In the meantime, their air force bases were getting decimated. So there's nothing else except for two ways: either they would go nuclear or they would go for ceasefire. So they obviously opted to try for the ceasefire first. If the ceasefire would not have worked, definitely they would have gone for nuclear. That's for sure. And that's the reason US came running, because they knew if India will not stop, Pakistan will go nuclear and then there will be much more destructions on both the sides. This is how things unfolded. And if you remember, Pakistan tried calling India twice, 9:15 a.m. in the morning. It was not successful. Again, they tried calling, and in this time also, India kept firing BrahMos, and India continued attacking and hitting the Air Force bases till noon of 10th of May. So this is how things unfolded, and this exactly matches with the sequence of events and various other statements in news. And as per me, and you will gradually feel it in future that things really happened this way. Thank you. Just to add, on the night of 9th, as I told you earlier, Pakistan already grounded its air force and they were not flying the jets because of the uncertainty created by Indian air defense system. If you remember, they were using only their surface to surface missiles Fateh. They were using their rockets like Hamas style of attacking, barrage of rockets, and they were using drones. So in total, they were using drones, they were using rockets, the barrage of rockets, and they were using surface to surface missiles like the Fateh one. But they were not using at all air to surface missiles fired from the jets because the jets are already grounded.